I really like the atmosphere here. Very romantic. So can I finish telling you about what I was talking about earlier? Great, I really think you're gonna love it. So this guy named Jinpachi Mishima controls an army known as the Mishima Zaibatsu. The Zaibatsu is like this big crime syndicate and has a child named Heihachi Mishima. Heihachi has a wife named Kazumi Mishima and a child named Kazuya. Everything was looking good until Heihachi learns that his wife is a devil. He then fights her and kills her. Believing his son shared the devil genes from his mom, Heihachi takes him to the top of a cliff to tell him he killed his mother. After hearing of this betrayal, Kazuya fights his father, but being a young kid, Heihachi easily overpowers him and attempts to kill him by throwing Kazuya off a cliff. Kazuya survives this because he is indeed half devil. Continuing on his family rampage, Heihachi imprisons his father Jinpachi and takes control of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Years later in Tekken 1, Heihachi creates a tournament known as the King of Iron Fist, or Tekken, so he can test his strength against fighters from all over the world. The winner gets a big cash reward. No one is a match for Heihachi and he is able to defeat all but one, his son Kazuya, who has returned for revenge. Kazuya defeats Heihachi, then throws him off the same cliff he was thrown off, all while pulling the most infamous creepy smile in history. In Tekken 2, Kazuya inherits the Mishima Zaibatsu and decides to hold a second Tekken tournament to test his own strength against more fighters from around the world. This time, the prize for winning is the entire Mishima Zaibatsu. Kazuya falls in love with one of the contestants, Jun Kazama, and gets her pregnant. Kazuya makes it to the final fight only to face off with against Heihachi Mishima. Although this time Heihachi manages to defeat Kazuya, Kazuya then turns into a devil just like his mother. Heihachi still manages to defeat him and this time decides to throw him into a volcano. Heihachi regains control over the Mishima Zaibatsu. In Tekken 3, Jun Kazama has a son named Jin Kazama and she trains him to fight. Heihachi sought out power and freed an ogre who was this legendary fighter, but then ogre attempts to kill Jun and Jin, but Jin survives. Jin finds his grandfather Heihachi, who trains him some more so that he can fight ogre and avenge his mother. Heihachi announces the third Tekken tournament in the hopes of finding and obtaining ogre's power. Jin is unstoppable in defeating every person in the tournament and even kills ogre, avenging his mother. Heihachi then betrays Jin by shooting Jin in the head. Little did Heihachi know that Jin carried the devil gene and transformed into the devil. So Heihachi threw him through a wall, but Devil Jin flew off. Heihachi searches for Jin, but instead stumbles upon G-Corp, who has Kazuya's body, hoping to resurrect him. The Mishima Zaibatsu infiltrate G-Corp, only to find that Kazuya is indeed alive and stronger than ever. Kazuya defeats Heihachi's men in G-Corp and tells him he is going to get everything back. In Tekken 4, Heihachi announces the fourth Tekken tournament in hopes that it will attract Kazuya. Anyone who is anyone attends the tournament, including Jin Kazama. Jin makes it to the finals but is attacked and drugged by the Tekken force, these elite members of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Jin then fights and defeats his father Kazuya and Heihachi and goes to kill him. Before killing Heihachi, Jin has a vision of his mother convincing him not to kill him, and then flies off. Suddenly a small army of Jack 4s, these robotic soldiers that you can play as in the games, are sent by the G-Corp and attack Kazuya and Heihachi. They work together until Kazuya decides to leave, and the Jack 4s overpower Heihachi and self-destruct, blowing up Heihachi and the Mishima dojo. Amidst the flames, Jinpachi Mishima, Heihachi's long-thought dead father, who has been imprisoned under the Mishima dojo for several decades, breaks free from his chains and establishes the fifth Tekken tournament. Now in Tekken 5, it is revealed that Jinpachi is internally fighting with the devil, and with his last breath as a human, he decides to start a Tekken tournament in the hopes that someone can stop him slash the devil inside him. Jin makes it to the final fight, where he is so powerful he is able to stop a devil-possessed fighting legend and put a rest to his great-grandfather once and for all. Jin then takes control over the Mishima Zaibatsu. Both the Mishima Zaibatsu and G-Corp have grown in power that they almost start World War III. In Tekken 6, Lars Alexanderson is a field leader in the Mishima Zaibatsu and decides he cannot stand by and wants to stop the war. He works to find out information with the help of an android named Elisa Boskanovich and an international intelligence agent codenamed Raven. As the world spirals into war, Jin announces the 6th Tekken tournament, attracting fighters from all over the world. During this, we find out the Lars is Heihachi's illegitimate son. Also, Jin has been using the Mishima Zaibatsu's resources to find out more on the devil gene, and discovers an ancient being known as Azazel. Jin wants to wake him so that he can rid the devil gene so he can free himself. However, Lars and Raven defeat Azazel. Azazel then reveals that he is the one who destroys humanity if they become too evil. Azazel then self-destructs, blowing up the place, but Lars and Raven survive. Jin then arrives to tell everyone Azazel is not dead, as he can only be killed by someone who has the devil gene. Azazel then comes up from the debris and claims that if Jin were to kill him, Jin would die too. Jin then punches Azazel down the hole he came from, and Jin falls in too. A bolt of lightning then flies up, confirming Azazel and Jin as dead. Later on, Raven finds Jin, who still bears the devil symbol. They then contain him and transport him in a helicopter. Jin wakes and is not too happy and blows up the helicopter and everyone in it. Jin then runs from the United Nations but gets saved by his uncle Lars. Now we're finally at Tekken 7. While all that was going on with Jin, Lars, and Azazel, Heihachi returns in tip-top shape to take back the Mishima Zaibatsu by force, since Jin is out of the picture. At the same time, Kazuya takes full control over G-Corp. After restoring the Mishima Dojo to its former glory, Heihachi starts to meditate when Akuma, the green guy from Street Fighter, enters claiming he knew Kazumi and has come to kill Heihachi. However, their fight is interrupted by a small army of Jack 6s sent by Kazuya. Akuma and Heihachi work together to easily defeat all the Jack 6s and continue their fight, while Kazuya watches from the eyes of one of the broken Jack 6s. Kazuya gets to see Akuma kill Heihachi and then vow that he is coming to kill Kazuya next. Kazuya finds this hilarious and breaks out into a laugh. Akuma reaches the doorstep of the G-Corp and Kazuya calls off all guards so that they can fight Devil to Demon on the rooftop of G-Corp. Because of Akuma's strength, Kazuya turns into his devil. Little did he know Heihachi had been recording this fight to catch Kazuya turn into devil so he could release it to the world. He then uses his satellite to call a laser strike on G-Corp Tower to kill Kazuya and Akuma and destroy G-Corp. Kazuya survives and fires his devil laser at Heihachi's satellite, causing it to come crashing down to Earth and kill many innocent people. The public see this is a Mishima satellite and blame Heihachi. Both Kazuya and Heihachi travel to a volcano to fight to the death, and that they did. It was the best fight they had ever endured yet. However, there can only be one winner, and Kazuya came out on top and throws Heihachi off a nearby cliff into molten lava, finally killing him. A fight is about who is left standing, nothing else. After Kazuya says this, Akuma returns to try to kill Kazuya. They both fight, but we don't get to see who wins. Cut back to Jin, who is now all better and vows to kill Kazuya and undo his terrible acts. And that's it, the entire main story of Tekken 1 through 7. Told you it was long. Hopefully I got most of it correct, and you better understand Tekken. It's a fighting game, by the way. Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going? I haven't even started talking about the other 50 plus characters and their backstories yet. Oh man, they always leave.